Hey, first graders, let's go ahead and grab your whiteboard, marker, and eraser, something to write with. We're going to go ahead now and do our sentence using some of those trick words we learned earlier today. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read the sentence to you. I want you to listen to the sentence, and then we will break it up and write the words one at a time. All right, the sentence is Bob went over to her ranch. So this is going to have 6 words in this sentence. Bob went over to her ranch. Lots of trick words in this sentence for today. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first word is Bob. Now, Bob is the start of our sentence. It's also someone's name. So we're going to capitalize that first letter, B. That B will be a capital. B, A, B, Bob. And make sure that you're making those letters face the right direction, okay? Use those resources that you have. Bob, and then finger space. Make sure you're using a finger space. Went. I'm going to tap this one out. W, E, N, T. Went. 4 taps. W, E, N, T. Went. Bob went, finger space, over. This is one of our new trick words that we practiced today. Over. So this is one we just have to remember. Over. Bob went over, finger space, to. This is another trick word. We've talked about 3 different types of twos. Too much, the number 2, and just 2 like this. Bob went over to, and then we're going to come down here, her. This is another trick word we learned today. Bob went over to her, finger space, ranch. I'm going to tap this out with you. And ranch. It's going to have more than 3 letters, but it's only getting 3 taps. And ranch. So that first sound I hear is r. Then I hear an. That's going to be a welded sound. And ch. The digraph ch says ch. All right, now that we're finished with our sentence, Bob went over to her ranch, we're going to add a punctuation mark. We're not super excited when we're saying this, so we won't use an exclamation mark. And we're not asking a question. So we're just going to put a period at the end of this sentence. Bob went over to her ranch. All right, we put our punctuation mark. Check. We started with a capital letter. Check. We left spaces between the words. Check. And we wrote nice and neat. So I want you to make sure that you're doing that little checklist at home while you're writing these. Now that we've double checked our sentence, let's go ahead and mark up our words. So Bob, B, is going to be a CVC word. So we're going to mark up that short vowel. Went. I see that the short vowel and E between those 2 consonants. And then N and T are blending together. Those 2 consonants that are next to each other, they're blending. So they're making 2 separate sounds, but it sounds like they're blending to make one, but they're not. So went. Over is a new trick word we learned today, so we will circle that. To is a trick word. We'll circle that one as well. And her is a trick word, so we'll circle that one as well. And that brings us to our last word, ranch. And there's a couple things that we're going to do in this one. The first thing that I see is the welded sound. So I'm going to put a box around an. And then lastly, I have the digraph, and I will put a line under that because those are 2 letters working together to make one sound. Different than the blend where it's 2 letters making 2 separate sounds that blend together and almost sound like one. All right, so there is our sentence. Bob went over to her ranch. I want you guys to write this and mark it up as well. And then you guys can go ahead and post a picture of your sentence once it's complete onto Seesaw.